always from the heart of the city, and now on demand 24/7 on the CHFI website. This is the soundtrack to accompany a miracle. And I'm Don Jackson, around the world on the internet. M. Scott Peck, MD, from The Road Less Traveled and Beyond, published by Simon & Schuster, wrote, and I quote, "As a scientist, I expect statistical proof whenever possible to convince me of most things. But as I continue to mature, I've become more and more impressed by the frequency of statistically highly improbable events. In their very improbability, I began to see the fingerprints of God." Unquote. Miracles this hour with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Natasha Bedingfield with Butterflies and a Pocket Full of Sunshine, and Sting, If I Ever Lose My Faith in You. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Freeman J. Dyson in Infinite in All Directions, published by HarperCollins, wrote, and I quote, "The world of biology is full of miracles, but nothing I have seen is as miraculous as the metamorphosis of the monarch caterpillar. Its brain is a speck of neural tissue. Yet with this microscopic clump of nerve cells, it knows how to manage new legs and wings, to walk, to fly, to find its way to Mexico. How are behavior patterns programmed into the genes of the caterpillar and then translated into the neural pathways of the butterflies? These are mysteries that biologists are far from understanding. The monarch is proof that nature's imagination is richer than our own." Unquote. Freeman J. Dyson in Infinite in All Directions, published by HarperCollins. Miracles this hour with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Josh Groban, Awake, and Shaye with Beauty. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Arthur Gordon from Guideposts Associates wrote, and I quote, "Isn't it amazing how we take them for granted, those little black marks on paper? 26 different shapes, known as letters, arranged in endless combinations known as words. Lifeless. Until someone's eye falls on them. But then a miracle happens. Along the optic nerve, almost at the speed of light, these tiny symbols are flashed to the brain, where they are instantly decoded into ideas, images, concepts, meanings. The eye's owner is changed too. The little black marks can make him love or hate, laugh or cry, fight or run away. And what do we call this incredible chain of events? Reading. The spoken word rushes by and is gone, but the written word remains, endures. It can be consulted over and over again. forever. Unquote. Arthur Gordon from Guideposts Associates. This hour, a miracle or two with lovers and other strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Enrique, Iglesias, and Hero, Desiree and You Gotta Be, and Neil Diamond with the story of my life. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com for this Thursday, April the 29th of 2010. Former cable television president and CEO turned author, Squire Rushnell was for 20 years an executive with the ABC television network. He led Good Morning America to #1 in the ratings and was responsible for Schoolhouse Rock and the ABC After School Specials, which together won 75 Emmys. His book is called When God Winks: How the Power of Coincidence Guides Your Life. It was published in 2001 by Atria Books, a division of Simon & Schuster. He writes, and I quote, "A God wink is also a message of reassurance coming when you most need it. When you're at a crossroads in your life, and when instability is all around. It might be said, in fact, that coincidences are the best way for God to establish a perpetual presence in your life. Think about it. If you were God and wanted to communicate with human beings without using a human voice, how would you do it? You'd perform little miracles, wouldn't you? You'd create little miracles like coincidences that cause people to say, what are the odds of this ever happening? Those are God winks." Unquote. And could you keep your heart in wonder at the daily miracles of your life, your pain would not seem less wondrous than your joy. An excerpt from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And this from Daphne Rose Kingma's book, A Garland of Love, Daily Reflections on the Magic and Meaning of Love, published in '92 by Canary Press. Under the heading Carpe Diem were these words, and I quote, "Today, seize the moment to make love, to go swimming in the river, to give the magic surprise, to say the beautiful touching words, to hold hands while you sleep, to say you are the most unbelievable miracle of my life. For the moment passes like the river and is gone." Unquote. Lovers and Other Strangers. Enya, Only Time, and the Alan Parsons Project, With Time. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. So, how much does a miracle cost? This was written by James Davis Jr. And I quote, "Sally was only 8 years old when she heard Mommy and Daddy talking about her little brother, Georgie. He was very sick, and they had done everything they could afford to save his life. Only a very expensive surgery could help him now, and that was out of the financial question. She heard Daddy say it with a whispered desperation. Only a miracle can save him now. Sally went to her bedroom and pulled her piggy bank from its hiding place in the closet. She shook all the change out on the floor and counted it carefully 3 times. The total had to be exactly perfect. No chance here for mistakes. Tying the coins up in a cold weather kerchief, she slipped out of the apartment and made her way to the corner drugstore. She waited patiently for the pharmacist to give her attention, but he was too busy talking to another man to be bothered by an 8-year-old. Sally twisted her feet to make a scuffling noise. She cleared her throat. No good. Finally, she took a quarter from its hiding place and banged it on the glass counter. That did it. "What do you want?" the pharmacist asked in an annoyed tone of voice. "I'm talking to my brother." "Well, I want to talk to you about my brother," Sally answered back in the same annoyed tone. "He's sick, and I want to buy a miracle." "I beg your pardon?" said the pharmacist. "My daddy says only a miracle can save him now. So, how much does a miracle cost?" "We don't sell miracles here, little girl. I can't help you." "Listen, I have the money to pay for it. Just tell me how much it costs." The well-dressed man stooped down and asked, "What kind of miracle does your brother need?" "I don't know," Sally answered. A tear started down her cheek. "I just know he's really sick, and Mummy says he needs an operation, but my folks can't pay for it, so I have my money." "How much do you have?" asked the well-dressed man. $1.11, Sally answered proudly, "and it's all the money I have in the world." "Well, what a coincidence," smiled the well-dressed man. $1.11, the exact price of a miracle to save a little brother. He took her money in one hand, and with the other he grasped her mitten and said, "Take me to where you live. I want to see your brother and meet your parents." That well-dressed man was Dr. Carlton Armstrong, a renowned surgeon specializing in solving Georgie's malady. The operation was completed without charge, and it wasn't long until Georgie was home again and doing well. Mummy and Daddy were happily talking about the chain of events that had led them to this place. "That surgery," Mummy whispered, "it's like a miracle. I wonder how much it would have cost." Sally smiled to herself. She knew exactly how much a miracle cost. $1.11, plus the faith of a little child. Unquote. So how much does a miracle cost? We found out in that wonderful writing by James Davis Jr. gives us all hope that even the most serious of medical conditions can be cured by something as simple as a childlike faith. I'm Don Jackson from iTunes and CHFI.com. Gladys Knight, Forever Yesterday for the Children, and Amy Sky's Ordinary Miracles. And I'm Don Jackson from iTunes and CHFI.com. Walt Whitman wrote, "To me, every hour of the day and night is an unspeakably perfect miracle. An unknown author wrote, "To believe is to know that every day is a new beginning. It is to trust that miracles happen and dreams really do come true." And finally, this hour, Willa Cather wrote, "Where there is great love, there are always miracles." Tomorrow's podcast will also deal with the subject of miracles, with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. I hope you will tell all your friends about Lovers and Other Strangers. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.